And then when I was staying in that duplex with the Paisas, the other two dudes I think moved out at one. They moved out first, and then the husband of my Mexican family, you know, my buddy's aunt, they were divorced, but she came over, stayed the night or whatever one night. But there's more before that. Heather, you know, the girl that I said my ex's daughter used to stay the night over there, those black guys that she knew, one of their girlfriends or baby's mama, Heather knows her real well, right? And she worked at the post office before Heather did, and she dated black guys, and she was a white girl, but she had, or was it her apartment? No. Okay, she lived in that building. It's like a block away from the duplex where we were staying. The other post girl used to live in the building. But Heather's sister was staying there, but she was out of town. So she said I could just, you know, come and go as I pleased in her sister's house upstairs. But we went to Des Moines. I'd never been to Des Moines. I was like 28. I don't know how old I was. It was 2006-ish. I had never even been to Des Moines yet, you know, my whole life. But she took me to Des Moines, Heather, because there was a party, some dude she was messing with, and I met a blonde girl there, real sexy, and there was a Nazi dude that she was dating or seeing, and she didn't want nothing more to do with him. He was with like 4 dudes. They looked pretty rough. They were young, you know, but they looked like they were about their business. And I'm just like, shit, you know, they didn't say shit to me, but you could tell he was pissed, you know, because we're outside by the car, because Heather let me drive her car, you know, while she's at the party. We just, you know, joyride and everything, right? And so she agreed to come to Sioux City with me. Heather convinced her mother, because her mother was kind of like, Heather talked her mom into it. So she came back with us. And the first night, we went to my house where, you know, Mexican dude, and that's when his wife, his ex-wife, my buddy's aunt, how I met him, was staying the night. It was real weird because she wasn't around anymore. All of a sudden, she was there. It was just weird. And I had her there, and they're in the other room on a air mattress. We're on the couch. I'm like, dude, I can't fuck in front of them. I'm like I can't fuck in front of them. I just can't do it. Like, you know, I was like, you want to go back over to the other house a block away? So I had 2 spots that I could chill at and everything. It was cool. So we went over there and then did our thing. And then I left her there because I wanted to do dope and shit. Or I was doing pills at that time. I was crushing up some kind of uppers that you buy over the counter. So I was having trouble getting dope at the moment. And I didn't do that much dope at that time. I just dabbled a little bit. And I left her at the house by herself for like an hour or longer. I come back, she's pissed. She wants to go home. Heather won't give her a ride, even though she promised her mom she would or whatever. So she ended up taking a bus. I never talked to her again. She was mad. Yeah. Oh, I seen her again. Actually, there's this native dude. He's native and white. I was in jail with him when my buddies, Mike and the Crip buddy, he was in there too. I just met him, but he knew who I was, but I didn't know who he was. He's like 6'2". He looked like a white dude. Real chiseled chin, you know, like real clean looking dude, but he was half native, and he was about the business, you know. Nobody wanted to fuck with him in there, you know. But he knew Heather real well. And some odd years after, a year or two, I don't know, after that girl went back to Omaha or Des Moines, he ended up with her somehow. I don't know how, but she came to Sioux City, or somehow he hooked up with her. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, shit, all right, you know. I mean, I didn't care. I was just like, that's fucking. I'm sitting here trying to figure out how that happened. Like, how did that go? How did that fucking happen? Like, that's just weird, dude, you know?